The shape of early light. The first time I saw Ira, the morning light was still deciding what color to be. The sky over our seaside town liked to wake slowly, stretching pale pink over the water before turning gold, and I was sitting on the old jetty with a sketchbook balanced on my knees. I was supposed to be drawing the lighthouse across the bay for an assignment. Perspective, vanishing points, measured lines. But the page was still blank. My pencil hovered uselessly in my fingers, as if even it felt too lazy at that hour. Then she walked past me, barefoot on the wooden planks, carrying a pair of shoes in one hand. She wasn't extraordinary in the storybook sense. No glowing halo, no dramatic wind fluttering her hair. But something about her felt like the first warm breeze after a long winter, a quiet shift, a subtle realignment, a moment the world inhales. I don't remember deciding to speak, but my mouth seemed to move before I could stop it. "Isn't it cold?" She blinked, looked down at her bare feet, then grinned. "Only if you think about it." It was such a strange answer, I laughed. And she laughed too, as if we were already connected by some invisible thread. She sat beside me without asking, knees drawn up to her chest, and stared out at the water. "I come here every morning. The world's quieter before everyone wakes up, like it hasn't made up its mind yet." She spoke like that, softly but full of meaning, as if she always carried a diary line on the tip of her tongue. We talked until the sun fully lifted into the sky, and when she left, she waved the same way she had arrived, easy, barefoot, and unbothered by the rules of ordinary people. I drew her as she walked away, her silhouette dissolving into light. Over the next weeks, we kept crossing paths, sometimes by coincidence, sometimes very much not by coincidence. On days when the tide was low, we walked along the exposed sandbar that curled out toward the horizon. She collected broken shells and gave me the ones she found beautiful, spirals chipped at the edges, shards with violet seams running through them, imperfect and exquisite. "Things don't have to be whole to be worth keeping," she told me once, holding out a shell as if offering a secret. Her words settled into me like warm tea. I realized she looked at the world differently than anyone I had ever met. While others complained about cracks on sidewalks, she noticed how tiny weeds grew from them like little rebellions. While people rushed past puddles, she stopped to look at how the clouds trembled in their reflections. Around her, everything became sharper, softer, more alive. And somewhere in that growing brightness, my heart began its quiet, dangerous shift. One afternoon, a storm came sweeping in without warning. I found her at the jetty again, hair whipping across her face, skirt snapping in the wind like a startled bird. "Why are you here?" I shouted over the roar. "Why are you here?" she countered, laughing like thunder couldn't touch her. The waves crashed high, spilling white foam over the planks. I grabbed her wrist to pull her back, but she only squeezed my hand. "You're scared," she said, not as a tease, but as a fact. "It's okay, I'll go with you." Her fingers were colder than the rain, and I still couldn't let go. We ran all the way to the lone boathouse at the end of the shore, where we took shelter beneath the tin roof. Rain hammered above us in wild percussion. We were soaked through, our breaths fogging in the dimness. Ira brushed water from her cheeks. "You always draw, right? Show me." I hesitated. My sketchbook felt too personal, too revealing. Still, I opened it. The pages were filled with landscapes at first. The lighthouse, the sea, the crooked fence near my home. But eventually, inevitably, the pages became full of her. Her silhouette against the morning sky, her hair tied up with a ribbon she always said she hated, her smile when she found a shell with a spiral still intact. She stared at the drawings, then at me. "It's like you see me twice," she whispered. "Once with your eyes, and once with your heart." My pulse drummed louder than the storm. "I think I do," I admitted. Her breath caught, and in that moment of suspended time, rain outside, trembling quiet inside, she leaned in. Her lips brushed mine with the softness of early light, not demanding, not hurried, just a gentle confirmation of something that had been blooming silently between us. The world didn't explode or shift dramatically. Instead, something within me unfurled, delicate and vast, like the petals of a flower opening to its first dawn. Summer drifted on. Our mornings became routines, our walks became rituals, and our hearts, though young, learned to beat in tandem. But first love is fragile, like sea glass, beautiful because it was once broken and reshaped by the world. Ira told me one evening, as we sat watching the tide roll in, that she would be leaving at the end of the season. Her family was moving inland, far from the sea, far from the jetty, far from me. I didn't know what to say. The sky was bruising into purples when she placed her hand over mine. "You'll be okay," she said softly. "You have a way of turning the world into art. Not everyone can do that. That's because of you. You changed the way I see everything." She smiled, small and sad. "Then it means I'll still be with you, even when I'm gone." We didn't say goodbye that night. We just sat until the sun disappeared entirely, our shadows stretching long across the sand. On her last morning in town, I went to the jetty early, earlier than ever. The sky hadn't even picked a color yet. It was washed-out silver, reluctant and half asleep. I sat with my sketchbook open to a fresh page, and then she came. Barefoot, carrying her shoes, smiling the same quiet smile that had pulled me into her gravity from the very beginning. She sat down beside me and rested her head on my shoulder. "I'm sure I'll miss this," she murmured. "Me too." We said nothing else. We didn't need to. When the first streak of pink spilled across the horizon, illuminating the wood beneath us, she took my hand one last time. First love is the shape of early light. It never stays, but it changes the morning forever. And then she stood, walked down the jetty, and didn't look back. I still go to the jetty sometimes. I still draw the sea. And sometimes, when the day is slow to wake, I catch a glimpse of her. Barefoot laughter, storm-wild courage, shell-collecting wonder. She was right. The first light doesn't stay, but it makes you see the world differently from then on.